Yo guys, and welcome back to another video on the YouTube channel. It's quite late right now and we are in the hut in my back garden. Oops. And I'm going to be doing a Q&A. So I got a bunch of questions on I asked on Instagram. So you can see, yeah, I'll be answering these questions. So without further ado, there's a bunch of weird ones, just like emojis and you're high, love you, nice, so, like some of them literally are not questions at all, so don't know about that one, but let's find one. Okay, what got you into fitness? Okay, that's a good one. That's definitely a good one, and I don't know, I feel like I'll do a little storytelling then, because that's not a simple question. So I guess if I was to start off answering that, I would say I've always been into sports. Ever since I was young, I played pretty much every sport you can imagine. Tennis, basketball, rugby, swimming, athletics, everything, literally everything. But I was playing at the highest level at rugby, so I played for about 10 or so years, rise through the ranks, and it was actually my goal at one point to become a professional rugby player. So I was on my track. I was at, in under 16s, the academy level, which is the highest level at that age group. But unfortunately, I got dropped after a year. So that wasn't ideal. I had a couple injuries to work through. And obviously, how to get into fitness, like when you're doing that, you have training plans which they give you. I was doing athletics at the time, so my conditioning was really good, my cardio was really good, and obviously I'd be doing weight training because of that. And then I guess how I properly got into like the more bodybuilding side is when lockdown hit. I luckily, just down there, you can't see, but just down there I have a home gym set up, and I had a friend who really showed me the ropes in bodybuilding. So obviously I had a rough idea, but someone who actually really knew a lot more than me at the time with like push-pull legs and how to program and this and that. So we would spend 5-6 days in the week, 2 to 2.5 sessions were definitely overtraining, but we went hard. It was great. So yeah, I felt like with the rugby, it got to a point where it was kind of like, do I keep going? Like it was a big crossroads. Do I keep going down the path of trying to pursue being a professional rugby player, or do I go down this other route? And by the way, this is not like out of the blue. Like I've always been very passionate about bodybuilding, fitness, kind of like I've always been obsessed with just kind of training. Obviously the training is very different between rugby and bodybuilding. I love getting a good old pump, but yeah, it was a point in which I feel like I fell out of love with rugby, and I was not obsessed. So I thought that even though it was a bit of like a tough one, because I took like a step back, because I was at a high level in rugby and I took a step back for the fitness and the bodybuilding, but I felt like because I was so obsessed and I was so passionate about it, in the long run it would even out and I would be on top. So long story short, that's how I got into fitness. Next question: how did you learn about nutrition extensively? So I guess what I'm saying right now is through personal experience. You know, I have put my time in a good couple months with practically, you know, having a set calorie total for the day and then the macronutrient breakdown, cook myself, and I can make things work if I don't have the exact ingredients, right? As in I had to eat X meal, I didn't have the ingredients for that. I can easily swap it now because I've done it enough. I wouldn't say I have an extensive knowledge. There's tons I still need to learn, and if anything, I'm definitely less versed in the nutritional side than the training side. So, definitely not an expert. But how to become, I would say there's tons of videos online for free. You can pay for courses or potential books out there, but I feel like there's so much free knowledge online, and it's easy to access, easy to watch. You can learn if you really wanted to. Okay, next one. What is your current SBD numbers? So by that, SBD means squat, bench and deadlift. And to be honest with you, I don't actually know. because I don't do 1 rep maxes, because obviously I'm trying to grow muscle, so the rep ranges are usually like 6 and above. So I don't really know. I don't really deadlift either, and my bench is pretty poor because I had a shoulder injury when I played rugby, and yeah, it comes back when I bench. I don't think my mechanics are really built for it, to be honest. But I think I can squat a decent amount. I can do did 170 kgs, which is 375 pounds, for 6, literally today. And then I think I did 155 kgs for 10. So I guess squatting would be my best. Doesn't really answer the question, but yeah. Best tips for a beginner in the gym. Now that's a massive question, so obviously I can't answer that completely, but I think the main points would be, first of all, get the form right. Have a set plan and just stick to it, whether that be a full body, upper, lower, push-pull legs, anything, just stick to it. Then focus on progressively overloading your lifts over time, because that's how you gain muscle. And make sure you enjoy it, because obviously if you don't stick to the plan and you don't enjoy it, then if you quit, you're not getting any more results. So if you enjoy it, hopefully that helps with adhering to the whole process. Then you can keep leveling up with time. Also, I'd say don't overcomplicate it. Like, there's nutrition, there's this recovery, and there's the training, and all these moving parts. Just do one at a time. Don't throw it all in the mix. You're gonna be mind fucked and unable to enjoy it. So, okay, next one. What brings you peace in life? That's quite deep, man. Something that definitely brings me peace in life is doing activities which allow me to get into a flow state. So if you've never heard what flow state is, it's basically when you're performing something, but it's almost like being in the zone. You're so into it that all of the outside world kind of gets drowned out. And I say I feel at peace when I'm doing that. Quite zen almost. And activities which do that for me are the gym. When I'm in the gym, I'm like 100% focused, zoned. Especially on leg day. Whoa, it's unmatched. Surfing. Something about the cold water and just, again, I forget about everything, which is just amazing. I think golf as well, but to be fair, I'm like a bit of a beginner, so it can be frustrating. I'm definitely not flowing when frustrated. But yeah, just things which allow me to zone in. And also I feel like I can't feel peace unless I've done something hard. I always feel kind of restless if I feel at peace and kind of more relaxed when I've done things that are difficult, whether that be like work or like a really hard gym session, or I had a long deep conversation and it's been very engaging. Listened to a long podcast, read some books, just something that isn't easy to do. You can't just do it just like that, you know. That's what makes me feel at peace. But to be fair, I don't really feel at peace too much. What qualities do you respect in other people? I like that question as well. What qualities do I respect? I think that being authentic is probably my number one. Like when I see someone and they're just themselves, kind of unapologetically, and I feel like that comes from knowing yourself. Like if you know yourself, then I guess you can be yourself. But so yeah, people that they think for themselves and they act as a leader, you know, the masters of their own ship. I respect those people a lot, because a lot of people, you all have your idiosyncrasies, you know, the things which make you different to other people, and that's a beautiful thing. But a lot of people are scared because the world doesn't like what your idiosyncrasies could be. So you just want to hide in kind of like sheep's wool and not be who you are. But so I think it's beautiful, I think it's tough, but I respect that the most in other people when you're just yourself. Do you think bodybuilding is a lonely sport? Do I think bodybuilding is a lonely sport? Obviously, on the very competitive end, I feel like the people at the top of the game, it's not lonely because you've got all these sponsorships, you've got a great team around you, and I feel like you need to have this kind of like close-knit circle in order to make it to the top. But I feel like it's more the people who are just kind of in the middle, amateurs who are near the top, or kind of pros that are just not really winning pro shows. I feel like that's kind of a region where it could be quite lonely. Like you don't have a huge fan base, or it's just kind of you and your goals. Bodybuilding doesn't have the biggest audience. If you don't mean by competing and you just mean building muscle, does that make you lonelier? Well, I guess the time that you're spending doing that, you can argue that you're lonelier because you spend more time doing other things. But I think that just comes down to communication, really. Like, maybe it does make you lonelier, right? Why make the whole thing unnecessarily lonely? Something can take up your time, but it doesn't mean you can communicate to other people that you can meet them when you have time. I don't know. I feel like it's easy to kind of socially say no to things because the diet or like things of that nature, but just communicate and then I think you should be fine. And it's been a bit of a long video, so one more. How do you get big while staying lean? Just quite simple. Well, that'll just be obviously training really hard and accurately, not overtraining, recovering properly. And the really important thing is, if you want to get bigger while staying lean, having a small calorie surplus. So more calories going in than are going out, like you're burning. And it just needs to be small. You're not putting an excess amount of weight on, which is going to be probably more fat than you want. So just a small, maybe 200 to 300, even 100 calorie surplus. So yeah, that is the, my fucking camera's about to die. But that is the video done. I hope you enjoyed. And if I answered your question, I hope that was a good enough answer for you. If you like these kind of videos, definitely leave a comment. And also smash that like button, because for algo helps the channel out. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.